All right, recording. Beautiful. Guys, let's begin with our questionnaire for this term, right? Remember, the questionnaire is just a bunch of questions with some context that help us practice the topics that we saw in the term, right? So we're going to begin with the first one. And the first thing I want you to do is to read it. Read the first question. Read it. I know it can be difficult, so I just want you to read it. I am going to pick one of you to please explain what is the question about. So give it your best, guys. Please try to understand what is the question about. You done, guys? Good? Good. All right. Beautiful. I want to hear from someone. I want to hear from someone who I don't really hear a lot from, but I know is a good student. Let's hear from Lau, Valentina, and Sola. Lau, please. Can you please explain us what is the topic, what is the question about? Thank you.
Trivoltios y no entendí bien, profe, la verdad.
Okay, all right, okay. It's okay, it's fine. A lot of weird words, right? Voltage and current and impedance and a lot of stuff. So what we do know is that this thing has to do with electricity. Would you agree, Lau?
Sí, yes.
Okay, cool. Electricity. All right, all right. At the end of the question, Lau, at the end of the question, do you know what is it that we have to find?
De impedance.
Impedance.
Eso.
In impedance. Men, impedance. There. The impedance. All right. So the impedance at the beginning of the question says that the impedance is Z. Right? That's the impedance, right? Cool, cool, cool. Now, during the question, they give us a formula for impedance. They give us one formula. Can you see it?
Sí, Z igual B sobre
I, right? B over I, right? Like this? Beautiful. Thank you, Lau. You're doing great. Thank you. You're doing great. All right, Lau. No, you know what? You're good so far. Thank you, Lau. All right, so we need to find C, the impedance, and they give us this formula. C equals B over I. But we don't really know what is B and what is I, right? Or do we? Guys, let's go with Nata Padilla. Natika. Hola, Nata. Hi, Nata. Nata.
Hi, mister.
Hello, Nata. You sleeping?
Hi. Yeah.
Nata. Thank you. I'm going to ask you for something really simple, really fast. Can you please tell me what is B in our question?
B is the here it says that is the
Yes,
voltage
Nata, you're correct. B is the
or
voltage.
the
Now,
number.
the voltage is also a number, right? One of those values around somewhere. Can you tell me the value?
Yeah. And here it says that is 18 plus. How did you say that
I.
number? 18 plus
I.
I.
Nata,
I.
thank you. Appreciate it, Nata. All right, pretty good. That is the voltage. Now, how do we know this? Because it is right there in the information of the question, right? It says the B is the voltage, and the voltage is 18 plus I. Beautiful. But what is this other I here? Uh, Alba, brother, help us out here.
Yeah, I is the current and it is 3 minus
3
4i.
minus 4I. Wasn't expecting less from you, brother. Thank you. Direct to the point. Appreciate it. All right, 3 minus 4I. Beautiful. So, in other words, if they want us to find Z, the impedance, what they want us to do is to divide complex numbers. Eh? That's what this is, right? We have a division right there, a division of complex numbers. 18 plus I over 3 minus 4I. Complex numbers. Eh? So let's go for the bigger question. Now, this is a big question. How do we divide these? What is the process? What do we do? How do we do this operation? Anybody? Open question for anybody who wants to say. Marino Moreno, the conjugate. Brother, you're kind of correct. We will use the conjugate, but first, conjugate of what? Conjugate of this? Numerator? Or conjugate of this? Denominator. Conjugate of what? And denominator, thank you.
Denominator
And what do we do with the conjugate of the denominator?
multiplied by in the multiplicarlo por lo de abajo y por lo de arriba.
Alba, you're correct, my friend, as usually. We're going to multiply both up and down by a number, and that number will be the conjugate of the denominator. Remember, a conjugate of a complex number is the same number, but instead of having a sign here, we're gonna write down the opposite sign. So in this case, we have negative 4i. So we're gonna write down positive 4i, right? And that is what we're gonna multiply both down and up. So 3 plus 4i. Beautiful. Look at that. So question number 1 is just a review about complex numbers. Huh? Looks awful. I know. Question number 1 looks awful. A lot of weird words, and I don't really know what to do here. But if we read a little bit slower and really take in the information, we can see that it's just a division, right? Okay, so the form, the way you multiply this, remember, we're gonna have to multiply numerator with numerator and denominator with denominator, right? So we're gonna have to do FOIL here, FOIL. So go ahead and give it a try, and I'm gonna ask one of you to please tell me the answers. In the meantime, I'm gonna read the chat. Tomás, hola profe, he estado teniendo algunos problemas de conexión hoy. Cuando enciendo la cámara o el micrófono, sale de la llamada. Tomás, it's okay, brother. I understand, all right? Don't worry, Tomás. You don't have to open the microphone or turn on the camera. Don't worry. Still, if I ask you, you can still type in the chat, right? So you can answer through the chat, all right? You're welcome, Tomás. Don't worry. Agua. All right. I am assuming you guys started with the numerator, right? These two. So let's do that first, all right? I usually start with the denominator. That is what I usually do. Me. You can do whatever you want, right? So we're gonna do FOIL. FOIL. Let's go with Nico. Nico. Villamarín. Nico. Hey, Nico, you good? How you doing, brother?
Good.
Hi, Nico.
Hi, profe.
Hi. Nico, do me a favor, brother. Do me a favor. Help me out with the information here. What is the result of multiplying these two? If you don't have it
Um,
done already, you can just tell me the procedure and we can work from there.
I I have, but I don't know it is good or not.
Okay, we'll see. All right, we'll see. Don't worry. Tell me.
54
Okay.
plus is 75. I
All right.
that's where I elevate to the 2.
4i to the second power. Like that?
Yes.
Beautiful, Nico. Thank you. Appreciate it, Nico. Appreciate it. You're correct. This is the answer. Perfect. Of course, we can do something more, and I'll show that in a minute. But Nico, good job. All right, let's go with the denominator. Pipe Martinez. Pipe.
Tell me, teacher.
Brother, Pipe, can you help me out with the denominator, please? Just like Nico did on top. Can you help me out? What do I write in here?
No, mister, I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, we can do it together. All right, brother? Look,
Okay,
I'm going to guide you and you tell me the answers. All right? Look, we're going to do FOIL. FOIL. Do
okay.
you know what this is?
Yes.
Beautiful. So let's begin. First, so 3 times 3.
9.
Beautiful. Let's continue. Oh, that is the outers, right?
Yes.
So 3 times 4i.
4. 12.
Right, so 12. And because this part has an I also have to write down the I in here.
Okay.
Okay? Beautiful. Let's continue. We did F and O already. Let's jump into the I. The inners. How much is negative 4i times 3?
Negative 12.
Negative
I.
12. That's it?
I.
I. Thank you, Pipe. And lasts. So negative 4i times positive 4i. How much is that, brother?
Negative 16. I.
Negative 16i. And look at that, because we have I and I, we have I squared.
Okay.
All right, Pipe?
Yes, teacher.
Brother, you did perfect. Thank you, Pipe. You did perfect.
Thank you. Thank you, mister.
Beautiful. All right, let's continue. Now, of course, in this example, let me, just for this part, let me just change into this configuration. Maybe you guys can see it better. There we go. Maybe you guys can see it better. I was thinking maybe that was too small, right? Maybe it's better like this, right? Maybe. All right. From here, we can change a couple of things. We can change a couple of things, right? There are a couple of exercises and things we can change. For example, take a look at these guys. This I square here, and also this I square here. Hopefully you guys remember that in complex numbers, whenever we have the I to the second power, that is negative 1. Do you guys remember that or not? Okay, cool. So what we can do is we can change this for a negative 1 and also this for a negative 1. If we do that, take a close look at what is going to happen. Look, 54 stays the same, plus 75i stays the same. And in here we have positive 4 times negative 1. Positive 4 times negative 1. I to the second power is a negative 1. So we have 4 times negative 1. That is negative 4. 4 times negative is negative. 4 times 1 is 1. So what we did was we changed the value, the sign of the 4. Let's do the same down in the denominator. We have 9 But look at these. Look at these guys. Positive 12i and negative 12i. Those are the same value, but one is positive and the other is negative. What? We can cancel those. Those are zero. We can cancel those. They are the same value. One is positive, the other the other one is negative. We can cancel them. In other words, we don't have to write down nothing in here. We just write down the rest. Here we have negative 16 times negative 1. So negative and negative is positive. So plus 16. Look at that, guys. Huh? Look at that, guys. Look at that. María Sofía Plazas. Profe, Mafe tiene problemas con el internet. Okay. All right. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you, Sophie. All right. From here, we can extend, right? We can extend. Now, in the numerator, here, in the numerator, we have a couple of numbers that can be operated. 54 and 4. These two are, how did you call those numbers? Similar? No. Like terms. Those two are like terms, right? So we can operate them. In other words, we can do this. Take a look. This will be 54 minus 4. This is 50, right? 50 plus 75i. Did you see what I did? Are we okay with this or not? Cool. Thank you. Beautiful. And in the denominator, well, this one is pretty simple, right? Come on. How much is 9 plus 16? Come on. That one is pretty simple, right? This is 25. All right. So are we done? Do we finish here or can we do something else? If so, what do we
can
do now?
split it.
Alba, man, you're correct. As usually. We're going to split those, right? This is a fraction, but we can split this fraction into two. In fact, we should. We just don't. We just can't. No. We should. We must split this fraction into, because the result has to be a complex number. Because we have voltage as a complex number and current as a complex number. The result, the impedance, has to be a complex number as well. All right. So if we split this, instead of having one fractionary, look, one line as a fraction, we're going to have two fractionaries, one and the other one. The question is, how do I fill this information, these fractionaries? All right. The denominator will be the same for both. So here I have 25, and here I have also 25, right? The same denominator that before. I just repeat it. From here, the operation in the middle is going to be the operation in the middle of the fractionaries. So here I have addition. I'm going to write down an addition there. That's it. And also, what number do I write here and what number do I write here? The same ones that I have here. The first number is the one for the first fraction, 50. The second number is the one for the second fraction, so 75i. There we go. There we go. We split the fraction. But this can be simplified, right? We can simplify 50 with 25. And we can simplify 75 with 25, right? All right, let's go with something. This is something pretty easy, right? So let's jump for, I don't know who. I think Cesar. Cesar, in the chat, brother. Or open the mic, right? Whatever. Cesar. Cesar. Can you hear me? Cesar. Can you write down something in the chat, Cesar, please?
Mister, I have a question.
Alvita, tell me.
We cannot solve the division and put like
Yes,
the.
that is what I'm expecting Cesar to do. Yes.
Okay.
Simplify these two and also these two. Yes. But Cesar is not answering. Guys, can you do me a favor, please? Can you write down Cesar a message or something? Maybe I don't know. Maybe the guy is having difficulties. I need to know that. Okay. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the internet went out, the lights. I don't know. Maybe the computer froze. Frozen. I don't know. All right. Let's continue with somebody else. Okay, somebody else. Brian, my friend, my man. Brian, turn on the camera,
Sir, I
please.
put it in the chat.
Ah, you did already. Thank you. Turn on the camera, please. All right, so we are simplifying these values, right? And Brian in the chat already wrote down the answer. So we have 2. That is the solution of 50 over 25. 2. Plus, because we have an addition here, plus. And then 75 divided by 25, that is 3. Because we have an I, we're going to write down the I as well. This will be the final solution of the first question. This is the impedance at the beginning. Remember, that was the question, right? Find the impedance. We did it. We found the impedance, guys. All right. Okay.
Mister, I have a question.
Profe, ya hablé con Fegal y me dijo que tenía problemas de internet.
Thank you, Alba. Appreciate it. Who was the person with the question?
Me, mister.
Samuel, tell me. Sure.
In the second step, when we already did foil, we like eliminate the I2. Why? The I elevated to the 2.
These two?
Yes, sir.
Bueno, mira, ya lo dije en inglés, entonces lo voy a decir en españolito a ver si de pronto mejor. ¿Listo, papá? Ponle cuidado. Sabemos que i al cuadrado es lo mismo que negativo 1, mira. ¿Cierto? Entonces, en vez de tener i al cuadrado, podemos poner un negativo 1. I al cuadrado es negativo 1. Es como si hicieses esto, mira. En vez de tener i al cuadrado, voy a borrar esto acá. En vez de tener el i al cuadrado, es como si pusieras ahí 4, aquí decía 4 por i, ¿no? Están pegaditos, está 4 por i. Pues aquí tienes 4 por negativo 1. Ok. Y si multiplicas, mira, ¿cuánto es positivo? 4 por negativo 1. Pues eso es negativo 4, lo que está acá. ¿La viste, papá? Ah, cool, bien, bien, listo. Lo mismo en el denominador, aquí pasa lo mismo, mira. Negativo 16, ok. Con el negativo 1 de i al cuadrado, pues nos queda positivo 16. ¿Ok? Listo, listo, listo. Mis niños, me encanta que me pregunten, por favor, si tienen preguntas, así como Samuel tuvo su pregunta, háganmela, por favor. Yo con muchísimo gusto, mire, si quieren paso a otro idioma para poder ayudarlos, ¿listo? No se queden con la duda. Si se quedan con la duda, pues seguramente pierden su examencito, ¿está bien? Yo quiero que pasen. Pregúntenme, para esto es este día, para resolver dudas, ¿está bien? All right, so this was I to the second power, right? This was I to the second power. Okay, this is the end. That right there. That is the solution for the question. Go ahead and write it down somewhere, please. Hopefully you're writing down all of these, right? You are, right? So go ahead, copy this, finish copying, and we are going to jump into question number 2. So what I want you to do, once you have finished copying, of course, is go ahead and read exercise number 2. Read it. Just read it. I'm going to ask one of you to explain what is the question about. Felipe Martínez. Mister, Lau Botero tiene problemas con el internet. Ok, thank you, Pipe. You're reading question 2, right? That's what you're doing. You're reading number 2, right? Here. Esa pregunta es difícil, ¿cierto? Se ve rara, ¿sí o no? Poco de lugares ahí que en realidad uno no conoce, calles que uno no sabe, pero en realidad es bastante fácil si lo leemos con tranquilidad. Van a ver, facilito. Van a ver. All right, does anybody, this is an open question, this goes for everybody. Does anybody wants to explain? Does anybody wants to explain what is the question number 2 about? Anybody?
We have to find the coordinates where the right leaf file is, and using that locations, and in the V, using the polar coordinates, express it in degrees, and the C and the D, I didn't understand it.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Alba. All right. So I'm gonna change to this configuration to be able to write down stuff here. Right, look, let me do this again. So this is a map, right? A map of some part in the U.S. I don't know where this is. This is in Chicago. Look, this is a map of a little bit of Chicago, right? A tiny piece of Chicago, right? And what the question is saying is that this can be seen as a Cartesian plane, right? A Cartesian plane. Remember, if this is a Cartesian plane, then if I were to write it down, of course, my plane will look awful because my hand is not steady and I am using my mouse for this. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. There. This will be the y-axis, right? And like this, right through Madison Street. No. Let me do it again. This, there, a little bit down there, there, okay. Okay, like that. This will be the x-axis, right? So if we look at the little piece of map that the question is giving us for Chicago, right? The intersection between Madison Street and State Street, these two, right? That intersection will give us the point 0, 0. So the point 0, 0 is right here. 0, 0, right? Is this one, the intersection. That is the origin of our Cartesian plane. Are you guys following me so far? Beautiful. Thank you, man. Some of you, I can see some thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Beautiful. Tomás, hola, profe, se me volvió a caer la conexión, perdón. Don't worry, Tomás, don't worry. I know. Don't worry, brother. Don't worry. You're okay. Okay, all right. So let's try to answer the questions now because we know this plane, right? We know this plane. So let's jump into the question. Now, just like Alba said, we need to, in question A, we need to write down the location of Wrigley Field. Wrigley Field. What is that? Where is Wrigley Field? Okay, according to the drawing, Wrigley Field is this one, right? Is right here in Addison Street, right? So we need to find these coordinates, in other words, the coordinates of this point. That is what we have to do. We have to find those coordinates. Remember, coordinates are like this, x, comma, y, right? Right? This, if I go down here, this will be the coordinate for x, right? And if I go to the right, this will be the coordinate for y. Correct? So we have to find out that part. We just need to find out what is this measurement from here to here. Right? How much am I moving to the left? And also, how much am I moving up from here up? I just need to find out those pieces of information. But luckily, okay, like, look, we can count. Look, I can clearly see one here, and then there's another street there too, and then there's another street 3 and 4 and 5. We can count, sure. But if we count, we're gonna have some difficulties because maybe by the time I get to what I think is the answer, maybe I count one more or one less, right? So counting is not a good answer, not a good option. We can see the information here. Look, again, we need to find the location of Wrigley Field. And the information in the question says that Wrigley Field is located at 10 blocks west, 10 blocks west of State Street. Okay. State Street is this one, right? This is State Street, right? So if I move 10 blocks west, remember west is in that direction, right? This is north and south and east and west, right? Do you guys know this, right or not? This is an N. Northwest, southeast, right? So west is in this direction. This is west, right? Let me erase this. So if I move, that's what it says here, right? I'm gonna move 10 blocks from State Street. So if I move these, 10 blocks will be here, right? That is a 10, right? All right. That is a 10. It looks like a 20. Sorry. Let me write it down again. 10. There we go. 10 to the left. Uh-huh. All right. And 36 blocks north of Madison Street. 36, right? So remember, Madison Street is this one. Look, you can see the name right there, Madison Street, right? So in Madison Street, I'm going to move up 36. So if I move up, at this point, I will be moved 36 blocks, right? So it looks like we have our two values. So what are the coordinates, guys? 10 and 36. Tell me in the chat, please. Write down, everybody, write down the coordinates of Wrigley Field. Remember, I'm not going to read questions. I'm not going to read answers. So if you have a mistake, don't worry. Not going to do anything, all right? Por supuesto, si se copian de alguien, el primero que escribió, el segundo, no sé, buscan el que ustedes consideren es el mejor y le copian la respuesta, pues no aprendieron nada, ¿no? Y esto, pues, como, ¿para qué se copian? ¿Para que el profesor no se la monte? Ok. Qué mala idea, ¿no? All right, we have some answers now. Some people answered twice. That is okay. Let's write down the correct answer. Now, look at this. I left the number 10 because the question says we're moving 10 blocks west. But if we move west, we know these are the positive values and these are the negative values, right? So these will be negative 10. In other words, the coordinates in this point will be, let me write it with blue, negative 10, because this is the point in the negative part of the axis, comma 36. Right there. This is the correct answer. Guys, go ahead and write it down somewhere in the notebook, please. Negative 10, comma 36. All right. All right, okay, all right. Beautiful stuff, beautiful. Beautiful, thank you guys. Muchachos, nos quedan 10 minuticos. Listo, vamos a intentar resolver el B. El B es bien rapidito, es solo uso de calculadora, pero seguramente me paso el tiempo. Entonces, como Lau está teniendo tantos problemas de internet, necesito que alguien más, otra persona, me avise si llega a ser las 12:30 para que podamos ir a almorzar. ¿Listo? El que sea, todos si quieren a la vez, no pasa nada. ¿Listo? Yo corto y seguí, vamos a almorzar. ¿Está bien? All right, let's jump into question B. So,
Profe, una pregunta.
yes, Alba, brother, tell me.
Es que ahí en la información que nos da el texto nos dice que 10 bloques son 1060. ¿No habría que pasarlo a eso para poner
No,
la coordenada?
casi no, ponle que mira, es que dice que Wrigley Field está ubicado en aquí. Esta es la forma de dar la dirección. Esto es un poquitín de contexto, ¿listo? Esto es la forma de dar la dirección en Estados Unidos, ¿listo? Por ejemplo, en nuestras casas, aquí es carrera 81 con calle 54, no sé, calle 81, número 5380, una cosa así, ¿sí? En Estados Unidos es de esta manera, mira. La dirección de Wrigley Field es 1060 West Addison. Esa es la forma. O sea, aquí te están dando la dirección. Pero esa dirección está ubicada, mira, aquí dice, which is, entonces, la cual está a 10 bloques, 10 calles de State Street. ¿Sí la viste, Alba?
Sí, profe.
Entonces, al inicio lo único que están haciendo es darnos una dirección, papá. Esta parte de aquí es la que lo confundía a uno. Porque yo también pensé, cuando yo hice el ejercicio, yo pensé que 1060 sería la cantidad de espacios que me estoy moviendo desde el origen, desde el 00. Pero no, esa es una dirección. Me tocó buscar esto. ¿Ven? Yo no he ido a Estados Unidos jamás, entonces no sabía.
Vale, profe, gracias.
Pero va con gusto. Bueno, question B. Alba said this already, right? Question B. Write down the location of Wrigley Field. So the same one that we just found, because we just found Wrigley Field already, right? Write down the location of Wrigley Field using polar coordinates. What? Look, this is an exercise of polar coordinates. What? Now, in case you don't remember, we're going to write down the formulas to change from rectangular into polar coordinates. Does anybody know those two formulas, please? There are two formulas right there. Can anybody tell me the formulas, please?
Radians equal to degrees by P over 180 grados.
What? Okay, that is for radians, sure. That is to change degrees. Okay, but for this specific exercise, we need the r and we need the theta, right? Those are the polar coordinates, right? Remember, these are Cartesian coordinates, x, y, right? And the polar coordinates are r, theta. So we just need those two values, the r and the theta. We don't need to work with radians for this one. We don't need to work for radians. Anybody? Okay, Vale Moreno is writing down the formula for theta. Thank you, Vale. All right. This is 180 plus tangent, the inverse tangent of y over x. Vale Moreno. Thank you, Vale. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Vale. Equal. Beautiful. And did you guys remember the formula for r? R is the distance, right? The distance from 0 to the point. Did you guys remember that formula or not? Can you tell me, please? Anybody? Open the chat, open the mic, sorry, or write it in the chat. Anybody?
Raíz para
Yes.
de x al cuadrado más
There we go. Thank you, guys. So we have these two formulas, right? This is the R, this one. This is the theta, this one. All we have to do now is replace x and y. But the question is, what x and what y? This x and this y. The values that we just found in the first question. This x and this y. -10 and 36. So using your calculator, guys, please tell me, what is the r theta? The polar coordinates. What are those, please? Tell me. Vale Moreno said it in the chat as well. Root of x squared plus y. Thank you, Vale. You did it great. Uh-huh. Okay, Vale Moreno, 34.6. What is that, Vale? Is that the R or the theta? R. Okay, so 34.6. Vale, Vale, quick question, Vale. Vale, did you round? Is this a 6 or was this a 5 or a 7? Did you round? $34.6. Daniela Valentina Capella says, a mí me dio 37.36. All right, guys. Which one is it? The first or the second? Which one? Come on, guys. Negative 10, right. We do negative 10 in here and positive 36 in here. Samuel Mendez dice, I round 34.56, 34.58, 58. So this one is correct, right? 34.6. Redondeando 34.6, David Andrés Castro, thank you. Marino Moreno, the first, okay. Marino Moreno, 34.6, thank you, and rounding. So this will be the answer now. Thank you, 34.6. And this is a proper rounding, right? Just one decimal, that is okay. Now, we have the value of R. This is the value of R, right? The distance. But what is the value of theta? Use your calculator, please tell me. In case anybody have forgotten how to use the calculator to find this tangent inverse, the inverse tangent, you can tell me. I'll show you how. All right. The idea of this is that you remember. So I'll show you. Okay. Juan David Vega and Vale Moreno, both of you say 105.5 degrees, 0.5, and you even did the circle for degrees. Look at that. You guys are great. Thank you. Samuel Méndez dice, me dio lo mismo. No, pues no es lo mismo, ¿no? No es 34.6, no, no es lo mismo, ¿no? Yes, who's saying something?
Yo, es que no me acuerdo cómo se sacó eso en la
Mi niña,
calculadora.
inmediatamente te muestro, por supuesto que sí. Gracias por preguntarme, mi niña. Me encanta que confíes en mí. A ver, déjenme, abro yo mi calculadora, me demoro un par de minuticos porque es que, bueno, no, es un emulador, entonces, y es un emulador gratuito, entonces pues, se demora. Pero ya mismo, espérenme nomás. Ya merito, ya merito. Aquí. All right. Lau, you looking at this? Lau. Beautiful, Lau.
Yes.
So we want to do the inverse. Let me show you this. We want to do the inverse tangent, right? So if you look at the tangent key, right on top of that is the blue one, right? Tangent to the negative one. To access that, just do second tangent. There you go. Right? Tangent inverse, right? Now, we're going to write down y and then x. The value of y was 36, if I am not wrong, right? And then over negative 10. Of course, don't do this negative, right? This one, right? And then press enter. There we go. Now we have to add the 180 plus 180. You have to do it in this order. If you don't do it in this order, it's going to give you a different answer. There. Beautiful. 105.5. Of course, write down the little circle for degrees. Is that better, Lau?
Sí, profe, ya
Con
entendí.
muchísimo
Gracias.
gusto. Again, guys, don't hesitate about asking me. I am here for you guys. All right, Vale Moreno. Profe, en la calculadora la ecuación de R toca poner paréntesis. Of course, Vale, of course. Absolutely, Vale, absolutely. If you don't doubt, if you look, you have to write it like this, Vale. You have to write it like this.
Profe, ya son las
Ay.
1:30.
Vale, we'll leave it for when we come back, all right? Vale, you let me know because I'm gonna forget, all right, Vale? I'll show you how. Guys, let's go eat. Let's go eat. When we'll come back, I will take note again of the people who are present or not, and then we will continue. We will continue, all right? Thank you guys for coming. We will meet again. Bye.